Greetings and welcome. Now, with the election being announced, there's going to be plenty more content coming out. There's going to be lots of exciting, feisty political debate in the comment section of my videos, which I encourage, you know, as long as it's good natured, which it generally is. I love political debate. Let's talk about who knows best how to run the country and what I would do if I was in charge. All this sort of stuff is all good fun and all good natured, and I've had quite a lot of that over the last couple of videos that I've brought out. So I want to talk about some of the comments that I've got and give my takes and my opinions on them. There's around about 3 comments that I've had on previous videos over the last week since the election was announced that I keep getting the same question. So I want to talk about these 3 comments, and first of all, it's this one. It's the, oh my God, do you not remember how disastrous the last Labour government was? It was from my video where I was just excited about the prospect of kicking out the Tories. I got many comments the same as this. Yeah, it's all well and good kicking out the Tories, but what are you going to replace them with? Don't you remember the last Labour government? Don't you remember how disastrous it was? Well, yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, let's all take our minds back to 2010, shall we? When you didn't have to wait a week to get a doctor's appointment, or, you know, everyone could get an NHS dentist, or back when NHS waiting times were at a record low. NHS satisfaction was at a record high. You know, think back to the amount of homeless people you used to see on the streets back in 2010. Record low homelessness. Food banks. Who ever heard of a food bank back in 2010? So, I mean, yeah, I do remember back on the last Labour government. I remember it well. Now, I'm not going to sit here and start saying that everything was glorious under a Labour government and there was no poverty and no homelessness and they were absolutely amazing. They weren't. They've done a lot of things wrong. I still are quite angered by the fact that the last Labour government never undone the damage that Thatcher done when she sold off all the council housing, which is exactly why we're dealing with sky-high rents right now. They never got to grips with that. They never undone some of the damage there, and I think that was a big failure on the previous Labour government. Obviously, foreign policy, no one agreed with their foreign policy at the time. War in Iraq, all these sorts of things, they weren't perfect, but my God, I mean, to call them disastrous or god-awful, I mean, honestly, the world of 2010 is like a dream compared to the world now. And I'm not talking about, just disregard COVID and the war in Ukraine. These stats are exactly the same. Take yourself back to 2019. It's the same difference. The NHS waiting times, the homelessness, the child poverty. You know, the world of 2010 was Disneyland compared to right now. Now, I'm going to get on to some of the other comments in a minute, but eagle-eyed viewers of the channel, those of you that I love, that come to my videos all the time, eagle-eyed viewers will probably notice a distinct rise in quality on the video today, and that's because I've finally upgraded. It's finally time to say goodbye to this thing. Very special day, because this bad boy that I've been using for the past 5 years, it's time for it to go. Now, it's done me all right the last couple of years, but I will not miss the crappy sucker pad that doesn't really work. This bit of plastic that I had to wedge in for it to stay in place. It's had its time, and the good people of VFO got hold of me and sent me this bad boy. They got hold of me, they said, you know what, it's time for an upgrade, and they were absolutely right, and I could not be happier. This is the Ferrari of dash cams. It really is. It's fantastic, and I'm going to talk about it now. So first of all, installation could not have been simpler. It's got a nice sticky pad on the back that you just whack straight to the windscreen. If you haven't positioned it perfectly and you want to move it, no worries, you come up with one of these little shoehorn things that'll wedge it out and you can replace it, no problem. It comes with lots of extra sticky pads as well. But the thing I love the most is just, I love having all the wires tucked away. There's nothing worse than having wires dangling down across your screen here, down to here. I hate that. And these wires tuck in perfectly into the seams up here. But I have it coming down to this power bank here. You can have the wires come round down and go into your usual charging point here. You can plug it into the port as normal with the adapter, and you can put the wires and tuck them in away, nice and neat and tidy. So this comes with 3 cameras. I'm in a van, obviously, so I only have 2 because I don't have a rear window. But if you are in a car, you can put the rear camera on and this interior camera. So I'm using this camera for vlogging, but if you want it just for security of the van, you can have it hidden away so any thieves that come in won't necessarily see it. But the thing I really love, check this out, I've even got a little Bluetooth button here that I can tap. If I want to start recording, I want to record, tap. If I want to take a picture of something, double tap. It's fantastic. I love this thing.
But definitely the best thing I love about this is the app. It's super, super easy to install. You just hold the button on the side of the dash cam. It connects to your phone. You search for it with the Wi-Fi settings, put the password in, and you're connected. And that's what's so great about having this connected to your phone. As you can see here, it's like having a CCTV outside your home that is connected instantly to your phone. If there's any disturbances outside, any dodgy things happening towards your car, straight away you've got it on your phone, and straight away you can download that footage. Or maybe you're a budding YouTuber and you want to do YouTube shorts with your dashcam footage. Straight away you can download it to your phone, upload it to Instagram, TikTok, whatever takes your fancy. The other advantage of having all the settings on your phone is you're not having to reach over to the dashcam, look at all the settings. You can have it all on your phone, and this thing is jam-packed with settings. We have loop recording, we have emergency recording. When the camera detects an accident, it'll automatically save and record the video. You've got voice control.
2 channels started.
Parking mode. The camera will automatically record a video sequence while a moving object is detected in front of your car while parked. Time-lapse recording if you want to record overnight but don't want to use tons of memory. It's one of the only dash cams to have a 2K rear and interior camera. And the camera at night is absolutely incredible. Look at the detail, look at the blue in the sky there. I've never seen a dash cam footage this clear at night. That's due to the fact this is the only dash cam on the market to have Sony's newest Starvis 2 image sensor. These 2 sensors offer a wider dynamic range and a higher light sensitivity than usual.
I really could not be happier with this dash cam. I mean, like I said, it is the Ferrari of dash cams. It has absolutely everything, and especially those features on the app where you can basically use it like a security camera on your driveway, and as soon as you hear a noise outside or something, and you can check straight away on your camera, you can save it to your phone straight away. But also, you know, the security features, we all know about the security features with dash cams, but dash cams are so much more now. And if you've got a great quality one like the picture that you get on this one, if you're doing long drives, maybe you're going to drive down to Cheddar Gorge or something, and you can just record the beautiful views. You can talk and at a click of a button take pictures of things. You know, it's fantastic. Dash cams are more than just security now. And maybe you want to be a budding YouTuber like me and you want to do vlogs from the van in the safest way, because you know, a lot of people do the vlogs from while driving with their phone and stuff like that. This is the perfect setup. Everything is set up. At a click of a button, you can start recording, you can start talking, and your focus is 100% on the road. But yeah, I could not be happier with this dash cam. If you want to get one of these bad boys, link down below. You can get a discount. The people at Vivo will sort you out. They are great. They are fantastic. Now, onward with the video. So the other 2 prominent comments that I keep getting about Labour, and the first one is this, well, both of them really are just ingrained, because the only people that are left that are willing to vote for the Conservatives now are the hardliners, the cultists, that just will not let go to these old stereotypes of Labour. And that's what I'm going to talk about. When you get a comment like this, I see this one all the time, which is the same narrative, that this circle of life of the 2 parties where Labour spend all the money, put the country into bankruptcy, and then the Tories have to come in and undo this damage. I mean, have you been witnessing the last 14 years of Tory government? How anyone can still have this opinion about the main 2 parties just astonishes me. I mean, look at the damage to the economy that the Tories have done over the last 14 years. They came in, there was a world financial crisis. They wanted to bring austerity. They wanted to balance the books. They wanted to cut back public services. And maybe if they didn't borrow like crazy, you might say, well, okay, maybe that had to be done. But they've done all those things, and they had record borrowing, far more than the previous Labour government. So they borrowed far more than the previous Labour government, and they cut back on public services. And what have we got to show for it? Crippling infrastructure, crippling public services, and NHS, education, policing in complete disrepair. So you have to be a complete hardline cultist to still believe this absolute garbage that the Tories are the economic experts. They're the ones that clear up the mess after a spending spree from Labour. It's just, it's madness. It's pure madness. You just need to look at the stats. It's not about political opinion. It's not about whether you're left or right, or conservative or liberal. It's just about stats now. It's just pure stats. Just look at the stats about the economy, what was going on during the previous Labour government and what's been going on during this Tory government, and then try and tell me that the Tories are the party of fiscal responsibility. It's complete nonsense. And that brings me on to the second one of immigration. Labour will still be tarred with this brush of the party that will just open the floodgates, open door border policy. Labour about open borders. I've mentioned this before. Open borders. Is there a country in the world that actually has open borders, as these guys try to claim? No one wants open borders, especially not Keir Starmer. And this thing that, again, Labour get tarred with the brush of being the party that open the floodgates to immigration. Again, just look at the stats, people. Does anyone look at stats anymore? These hardliners that still think that the Tories will be better on immigration than Labour. Look at the stats. Immigration has quadrupled under the Conservative Party over the last 14 years. They have built a society that relies on immigration. Yes, Labour during the 90s and the 2000s, especially with being in with the EU and getting a lot of Polish migrant workers coming over, we had a lot of immigration during that Labour time. But the Tories have built a country now that is solely dependent on immigration. During the Labour tenure, we still had nursing bursaries. We used to train. If you're a British citizen and you want to become a nurse, we will train you for free. The Tories got rid of that, so now we are solely reliant on immigration, because who in this country, what British citizens want to get themselves into debt to become a nurse that is an extremely hard working job for very little pay? The Tories have built a society that is based on immigration, that feeds on immigration. At least back in the Labour days, we trained our youngsters. We had better education standards. University fees were cheaper. We helped youngsters to do well in this country. Now, we just import it. It's far cheaper just to... Why would we pay? This is the Tories' theory. Why would we pay to train our own citizens to become nurses when we can just import Filipino, Indian, Nigerian nurses? The training's been paid for back in their country. Why should we pay for it? That's their mentality. And then you've got Brexit. It worked before. We had a rotation of European nurses and Labour that circulated around Europe, and a lot of our citizens went to work in Europe. We switched that off straight away, and now we are so reliant on non-EU immigration. You know, it's just this madness, this absolute madness that the Tories, the Conservatives, you know, they're both as bad as each other, but I trust the Tories more on sorting out immigration. It's not based in reality. It's not based in stats. They've built this whole society that is solely reliant on immigration. Where I don't know how you can't see it. It's madness. Anyway, folks, so I'll leave the video there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click a like. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe up top. There'll be another video. You can check that out. There'll be plenty more content coming out on the run up to the election, and I will see you next time.